All right. Today is August 15th. Well, for another hour, it's August 15th. And my name is Tori Magoo, 44, on YouTube and TikTok. And my name is Tori Chrisman. I was in Scientology for 30 years, and I woke up in 2000, and I was just going to leave. That was my plan. And they ended up chasing me. They chased. Hi, David. They were at the LA. They canceled my van. The plane was canceled. Hi, Unstoppable SP. Hello. Thank you so much for that thing you wrote. I mean, I think it was years ago, but I watch it all the time. It's so wonderful. People have done really kind things for me. Not Scientology, but anyway, hi. Thank you for coming by, you guys. So I was in it for a long time. Hey, Love It, hi. Love It is one of my moderators, she and Sophie, and she is a wonderful person and has helped me greatly. And so have all my friends. So anyway, you're welcome to be here, anyone, and it's free. Hey, thank you, Unstoppable SP. I'm telling you, it's such a wonderful thing. It's really amazing. He wrote, I don't know if you're even a he or a she. I don't. I think you're a she, but you're a he. I don't know. Anyway, the person, Unstoppable SP, wrote me this really, really beautiful thing and had a picture of me with out protesting. It was really cool. Do you remember it? It was kind of fun. Anyway, that was after 2000. In 2000, I was just going to leave. That was my plan. I wasn't going to speak out. I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to protest, make videos, and I made that very clear. But because they were so nasty to me all the way across the country, I always say in Tampa, I was a Scientologist. By the time we got all the way across the country, I was an activist. I was like, no, I have things to say. I'm a lady. All right, good. Thank you. I kind of thought so because it's such a beautiful thing you wrote. Not that guys can't write a beautiful thing either, but it had a really cool twist to it. I really liked it. Thank you. A lady. I like that. That's nice. So, how are all of you? Hi, Moon and Stars. You slipped in. I didn't even see that. Happy weekend. That's right. It's the weekend. I know. And that's always fun. I love weekends. And that's why my title, I thought, what should I talk about tonight? You guys have to let me know if you want me to talk about anything because, I'm sure there's questions you might have, but you have to let me know because I believe it or not, I'm not telepathic. Even though Scientology promotes that I'm an OT, so I would know everything, but I don't. Whoop, whoop. I'm doing good. Always good to see you. You make me smile immediately. Ah, thank you, Moon and Stars. I appreciate that. I think I feel the same about you too. I really do. I'm always happy when you guys are here. So my topic for tonight is about Scientology. Was I able to go out on the weekends? Now, what do you guys think? High tension tamer just inhaled a burrito. Now to slip into the food coma listening to Tori. I went to Weight Watchers last night and they were talking about emotional eating. It was really good. It was really a good topic. Because, it's like she said, it's very natural to emotionally eat. I mean, it is something we do. The difference is if you can control it. And sometimes you can't. And she, like I remember the lady who helped me lose 100 pounds had a really funny story. Wait, can we talk about your nails? Can we please see the color? Yes, here's my nails. Can you see them? They're pretty, huh? I got them I wore a different top to the wedding. And so I got these nails to go with the top, but I really like them. They ended up being really pretty. Were you allowed? But thank you for asking me that. Love it. So could you see them? I think you could. They're kind of maroon. Were you allowed to go out on weekends? I would say yes, but probably watch closely. No, not at all. I mean, yes, I was allowed. First of all, a big thing I'm trying to clarify with everyone is the difference in Sea Org and public, because they're two very different avenues. Sea Org are the guys that sign the billion-year contract. They're working for the Church of Scientology 24/7, 365 days a year, no days off. They have a half a day on the weekend. That's it. And all that time, that's all they ever get is a half a day if their statistics are up. If they're not, they don't. No, not able to go out on the weekend is my guess. Other fish to fry. For public, we're just like you. You can do whatever you want to do. Some public go on course and do Scientology, or they audit, so they're doing some Scientology part of the time. But we always did fun stuff. We really did. I was very happily married, and we did. Thank you, love it. We did really fun things. We'd go out to eat. We'd go to movies, and we'd go up to Big Bear. We both of us loved small, quick road trips. That were like 2 or 3 days kind of thing. And that's a fun thing to do if you live anywhere near LA. You go up to Big Bear, you rent a cabin for, just a night or two. And it literally feels like a vacation. It's really cool. So I was able to do whatever I wanted to do on the weekends. I usually worked Monday to Friday, so the weekends I had off. And sometimes I would do Scientology, but a lot of times not. I would do other stuff, go see friends and hang out with my family. David, all right. I can't imagine people who are deep in Scientology can afford to go out on any night. They probably would want you to spend your money on coursework and auditing. Well, of course they would, but we were not in that boat. I mean, I think I would have been if I could have stayed in the Sea Org, but I couldn't. They routed me out because I have epilepsy and I needed medicine, and they said no. So okay, it ended up being great that I wasn't in it. But they do want you to come in and do courses, but a lot of people don't. We always had parties on the weekend, either at my house or some of my other friends' houses. Unfortunately, a lot of them that we had parties with are still in, including my ex-husband. He stayed in and remarried. Moon and Stars, if they only get a half a day off, who does their laundry and shopping? That's when they do it. Or they do it late at night, like really. And I found that out in Clearwater because I was with a friend of mine at the Sandcastle, which is where all the OT7s were, had rooms, and we were doing auditing during my day. It ended up opening up to anybody, but during our time, it was just OT7s. And all of them were like early to bed, early to rise. And this one friend of mine and I were like night owls. And so it'd be like 9, 10, 11 at night. And we'd be like, God, there's nothing to do. I mean, it's dead, 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 dead. And so then we think, now, wait a minute. I think Albertsons is open all night. I think it was called Albertsons. It was a grocery store. And so we said, let's go over there. So we went over to Albertsons, and there were all the Sea Org there at midnight. It was really funny. They were all, they just cruising around getting stuff for themselves that they needed. So I learned that they shop, not all of them, but a lot of them shop late at night. Probably the night owls, and the rest of them probably don't and figure out a different time. But they also, in that half a day, that's when they do their laundry and stuff like that. That's why they have it. It's called CST, which I forget what that stands for. But anyway, it's a half a day that they get off if their statistics are up. If they're not, they don't even get that half a day off. The Sea Org sounds like prison. I know it's kind of tricky when you hear it from this side, because of course they're just like, oh, you guys are the greatest people on earth and you're saving the planet. And, after a while, even for me, a public, you'd start looking at planet Earth And this was in the 90s, and it was like, we're not saving anything. Planet Earth is a mess, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, today was Putin and Trump. Oh my God, unbelievable. Moon and Stars, Big Bear. I went to day camp there as a child. Oh, with the Mormon church. Oh, beautiful place. That would be a fun place to go for camp. Yeah, cool. Hi, Mark. Thanks for coming by. Danny, hi. How are you? How are you? Good to see you. I miss you. I talked to Mindy today. So I get to talk to, these are guys that I met, I think 2 summers ago, right, Danny? I met you. But they were, the live streamers with Jessica Palmadessa and Will and a bunch of different people. But Danny was one of them, and it was really fun. I really miss a lot of you. I do. All right, Sieglin, CSP, all right, is Clean Ship Program. Okay, so, and originally, remember, Hubbard and the Sea Org were on the ship out in the ocean. So CSP would be Clean the Ship Program. And now, even though they're on land, they're not on a ship, but they kind of run it that way. They do, pretty much. So anyway, good to have you guys here. And it's the weekend. So I had a fun thing that I did here, and you could probably do it in any city, but certainly you can do it here in LA. Hi, YRB. Good to see you. Danny, hello, Tori. Hi. Thank you. It's good to see you too. Hubbard also wanted 11 washes for his clothes. I know, he was insane on cleaning. I mean, I always say I love having ex-Sea Org members come here and stay because they're still massive cleaners, like beyond, because that was Hubbard. It was just kind of drilled into you. And most people I know that have ever stayed here who were in the Sea Org, they're, they are cleaners. I mean, it's like, wow, amazing. Hi, no one. I know who you are now. That's very fun. And hi, Aero 23. Hubbard also, you're the one who said that he wanted 11 washes for his clothes. Wow. Some of the stories, who has a great book on that is Janice Gillum. She was the daughter of Yvonne Gillum, who started Celebrity Center. And she was on the ship with Hubbard from a little age. I mean, her mom and dad lived in Australia and put she and her sister on a ship to go to St. Hill to be part of the Sea Org at a young age. It's a really great book, though. She has fabulous stories about it, all kinds of stuff. And 16 rinses. Oh, how amazing. Is that really true? So, are you kidding? I don't know if who was the person who said, I think it was Era 23. So was it 16 rinses or she's just teasing? Oh, you heard it. Okay. When I was at the Sea Org and I was at TTC, I washed my uniform 2 days a week. Wow. I forget, that's a tech training corps. That's what that is. I think that's what the TTC was. It was a tech training corps. I forgot all about that. I don't think they have that anymore. But they did at one point. I heard that from someone who did the clothes when I was at INT. Ah, okay. And Era says, sure. So anyway, had to be a wild trip. I mean, really a wild trip. I think it's funny that, for years I was like so bummed that I wasn't in the Sea Org. And now that I'm out and I have heard and met and talked to tons of the ex-Sea Org guys, they don't regret it. They're happy with what they did. But for me, in my own life, I'm like, nah, it wouldn't have worked. I don't think so. I really don't. So it was a lucky thing. It was. But here's the thing I was going to tell you about. I was married, I think, 25 years. And I thought, we were always having a good time, but I thought there must be some other stuff we can do. So I bought this little book, The Best of LA, because I figured people from around the world fly into Los Angeles literally to, they fly in and, that's because there's so many cool things here to see. But most people that live here don't see them. They just, they drive by, oh, there's the wax museum, and oh, there's this. And, just there's tons of stuff that's here. But we've got our own stuff that we do. So I got this book and I said to my husband, okay, here's the deal. We're going to pick one thing a month. And the three of us, my husband, my son, and I, are going to all go, whether we think it's dorky or not. I want us to just go see what it is. And we started going, and it was so much fun. I mean, it was really surprising how cool some of the stuff was. It was really neat. So anyway, that's the thing. I'm sure probably every big city has the best of Chicago, the best of New York, that kind of thing. And maybe even smaller ones. I do regret the Sea Org years in some aspects, losing my younger years and opportunities like school and college and what could have been, but I know I can still do that now. Absolutely. And take advantage of it, because time rolls on. It really does. And there's a point where people go, nah, I'm too old, but I mean, look at how many people, I think Leah just went to college and, went to college for 4 years and graduated. Not that she's like super old, but she's older. And she, in her life, there's a bunch of people that are older that have gone back to college, and it's a good thing to do. If it's something you want to do, I say do it, because that thing will be around forever. In fact, one of my friends and I just last night, it isn't my thing because I don't have any regrets on not going to college, but she does. And I was just saying, she's super successful. So I was like, what's the difference? You have a degree or you don't, you're super successful. But, it's each person is different. So if it's important to you, do it. Go down there. This is what I would recommend. And I think it's really a good idea for anybody who wants to go to school. At least just go in and talk to a counselor, and they will help you kind of fish around and see, do you really want to do it? Do you want to do it a little bit, a whole bunch? What do you want to do? What areas are you really interested in? All of a sudden it's like, bam, wow, yeah, that's it. And there you go. So do that at least go somewhere to some school and talk to the university, counselors. Some colleges even like to give great discounts, right, seniors returning for an education. They value wisdom that can be shared with the youngsters. True, YRB. I don't know that no one comes into that category of seniors, but I would, but I don't want to do it. But somebody else might. It might be their thing. But there's a lot of neat things to do on the weekend. And to me, it's kind of like you have to plan a bit of, like, I always have like one day for errands, pay bills. You are a senior? All right. Okay, well, good. Then listen to YRB. That's a good thing if you can get a discount on it. A young senior. Okay, that's what I thought. Give it a shot. Go over and talk to them at least, because what happens is seniors for the restaurant menu. I know I started that really young too, because we figured we've lived long enough. We might as well get the senior discount. And they never questioned us, never. I used to have a roommate, John, who he was 1 year older than I was, and we would go to the movies together. And I would say 2 seniors. And we were like, I forget how, I think in our 50s, but I would say 2 seniors. And he would say, no, I'm not a senior. And so then from then on, it'd be like, all right, one senior, one regular. And one day I said, John, if you really want to pay $4 extra just to, understand that these kids aren't even looking at us. It's like they don't even look up and go like, are you a senior? Nothing. It's like you say senior, they give you the discount. That's it. It's amazing. Check out your junior colleges. Yeah, and state colleges. You might be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, that is very true. And I recommend that no matter where you want to go to school, the first 2 years, do it at junior college or a state college because it's much more affordable. Brandon, big midget balls. Hey, thanks, I will. I'll need a bed first, probably. my Ged, not bed? You're going to need, you don't mean bed, you mean Ged. I don't know what Ged is. Say, what is it? No one, when did you stop ordering from the kids menu? YRB. You don't need a GED, I see, to get into junior college. No. And after junior college, if you maintain a C average, you can go directly into college level. Ooh, cool. GED, I get you. Equivalency. Sea Org. I still do sometimes. I got you. I think that sounds like a good idea, a really good idea. I might go back. I might go to college just for, I want to do some computer courses, and learn how to do computers. That would be fun. Ooh. What do you still do sometimes? No one. I'm not sure what you're saying, what you mean by I still do sometimes. Oh, Sieglin said something. I got you. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, when did you stop ordering from the kids menu? That's funny. You guys are crazy. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. How did this thing get here? Okay. You still order from the kids menu sometimes. I don't know what this was. I don't know what it is. I clicked on something and something else clicked up. All right, let's see what it is. I don't know. All right, so does anybody have any fun plans for this weekend that you're going to do? That's the other thing for the Sea Org, though. No, they are not able to go out on the weekends except for that CST time. Is it CST or CSP? Let me see. She said what it was. Shoot, no, I can't find it. Does anybody remember? It's CS. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Wait. CSP, Clean Ship Program. Okay. CSP, the Clean Ship Program. All right, good. There you go. Thank you, no one. Relax, maybe chat online. It's a StreamYard advert. No worries. Okay. CSP, there you go. You're going to Detroit? Wow. Oh, to the Tiger baseball game on Wednesday. Haven't been to a live game since I was a kid. I love baseball. I really do. Both my father and I loved it. He wanted to be a professional baseball player, and his brother was. But they said he went around to 8 different teams, and they said, "Now you're too slow." So he went to football, and he's an All-American. Sunday bowling. Oh, how fun! Lolo, 0708, Sunday bowling with my 5 and 7-year-old grandchildren. They do better than I do. I bet. Oh, God, that's got to be fun, though. My friend just bought his own bowling ball. He just decided he was going to get into bowling. He's a wildcat. That's Drew, the guy that I protest with. I mean, originally, last year, he was going to learn how to fly. And he got into flying, and he learned how to fly. And then that was it. He was done with it. And then now he bought a bowling ball, and they make it to your own hand, if you buy one. And it's very affordable the way it is. He was like, wow, this is great. So anyway, that's fun that you're doing that. That's cool. I love that. Enjoy bowling. I love to bowl. My mom used to be she wasn't a professional bowler, but she was on a bowling team. And she was good. I used to love to watch her. Hi from Kentucky. Hi, Janet Smith. Hello. Hello. Do you have anything fun you're doing for this weekend? I've been talking about weekends. And just to catch you up, yes, you're able to go out on weekends if you're public. If you're Sea Org, they only have one half of one day on the weekend that they can do whatever they want if their statistics are up. If their statistics are down, they have nothing. And how do they get their food? Like I said, they go late at night, or I don't know at what time, can anybody else fill in other guys that don't go late at night? I know it's so little time. That's for the Sea Org. They work their asses off. I mean, it's amazing. I'm going to spend a concentrated effort to clean one cabinet in the kitchen, unsuccessfully sweep vinyl floors. That's about all I can do on a weekend with my bum arm. Aw, well, you can watch movies. That's always good, and that won't hurt your arm. I'm kind of a movie fiend, so you can. I have a bunch of stuff I have to do tomorrow because it's been so hot here that I have to have the room or dorm clean and laundry done. I have to have the room or dorm clean and laundry done. All right. Mar Vista Bowl used to serve a 5 roast beef dinner on Sundays. Ooh, I don't like roast beef, but I know a lot of people that do. And that sounds delicious. Yeah, some of the Sunday dinners are good around here too. I think my son gets one where, you get the huge entree and a salad and bread and a dessert, I think. And it's like really like, wow, that's a lot. Anyway, we have fun eating out. The Mar Vista Bowl. Wow. YRB. My fun part is that I've got some great classical music at the ready to listen to while I work. Now, that's a smart idea. Music always helps. It really does. It really, really does. That's a really good idea. Memorial service for my sister tomorrow. Oh my God, Janet, I'm sorry that your sister passed away. I really am. That's hard. We were supposed to have a day off every 2 weeks if your stats were up, but that rarely happens. When you do, then your coworkers resent you. Yeah, I can see that. They feed the Sea Org, or should I believe? Yeah, they do. They have room and board, but it's not that great of food. At least when I was there, I was at Flag training, so I was eating with the outer org students. Not because I was on staff, I wasn't, but I'd been helping them so much. They said, just eat with the outer org staff, me having no idea how awful it was. And then I was staying with a friend, and oh my God, what a bunch of junk. It was awful. I'm sorting through my old 78s, of which I have many. Ooh, don't know what to do with them all now. Keep them. I have so many friends who got rid of their 78s, and now they get older and they're like, oh, I wish I'd kept them. Yeah, or at least go through them and find the ones that you really love and keep those, and then sell the rest, because you can sell them. It did suck, love it. Yeah, that is awful. That's tricky. No one. That's very tricky. Okay, and YRB, my mother used to go to Sunday dinners like that and eat the bread and salad and take home the main meal, and then eat that throughout the week. Smart. That's smart. Very smart. Yeah. We do what we got to do. Make sure everyone likes, hits the like button, please. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. So there you go. I was watching, because I used to watch Kelly and Mark Ripa in the morning. Well, I watch them way late at night because I'm a night owl. So I watch them at 2 a.m. But they're not on now. So I looked, and it looked like Mark is sick. I don't know if he is. Anyway, now I got on this whole chain last night of just watching Kelly. And what a ride on YouTube, just watching Kelly on YouTube. And I met this really neat lady on there that she was interviewing with, but it was really cool. Sieglin, still think of the actual cost for feeding the entire SO 3 meals and paying for the uniforms too. How is it CFS is staying in business? Well, first of all, there's not that many Sea Org members anymore. A lot of them have left. A lot of them have left. So, think about how many you see when you see videos. It's not like they have the masses like they used to. And they have a lot of money. They were farming money for years, so they have a lot of money. Yep. I hit the like shortly after clicking. Thank you, Era 23. Thank you. Yep. Better not to try, really. Better not to try, really. I don't know which thing are you talking about? No one. Not to try. I still have all my 45s and 78s. Oh, your 45s, how fun. Guess that tells my age. I always hit the like button on the way in so I don't forget. Good idea, Janet. Thank you. Yeah, I loved, all three of us kids had our little 45 players next to our beds. And what a trip that was. It really was when you think about it. Oh, amazing. If you never get around to selling them, an Alzheimer's home would love to receive your collection. Interesting. That's good. Hera 23. ... Lolo. Looks like Kelly and Mark will be on Monday. Okay, good. Good. Well, anyway, I met these really cool people from watching her for a while. No one figures out the price per week to feed the staff. It was less than prison budget. I believe it after that was the thing. I was auditing because I was there. I was at Flag to learn how to do their new SecCheck course. And I was doing the SecCheck course so I could co-audit FPRD. Co-auditing is where I audit you, you audit me. And it doesn't cost that much money. But in order to do the FPRD, we had to become senior sec checkers. And the sec check course was really screwed up, and I knew it. And I told my supervisor, and he said, yeah, honestly, they're coming out with a new one. You should just go to Flag and do that. So I did. So I'm at Flag, and now I'm getting better and better. And so now I'm auditing executives at Flag, and I'm auditing the CMO, who are kind of like way up in the thing. But for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I mean, the food was just awful. And one of my friends, who's now an executive on the ship, but at the time he was just a public, and we both were on kind of these special diets. And I said, well, you know what? I know the CMO eats really well. And they were in a whole different room. So we were in this room with just tables and slop, and it was awful. And then I decided I'm just going to sneak in and go see one of my PCs and take some food. So I went and got a big chunk of cheese because he wanted cheese, and I got some fruit and, different healthy stuff. I mean, they had tons of stuff. I mean, just tons of food. It was just unbelievable to see the difference in the CMO in their area and the execs, and then the staff, and how crappy it was. It was really awful. And I mention it because if anybody's lurking and listening, get out. I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better ever. I know they're going to promise you it does, but it doesn't. Is 45 better than 78? I think one is faster than the other, has more quality. The 78s, I can't answer that. I can't. I love them both, but I really love the 45s. Thank you, no one. I will check that out. Okay, Sieglin. Nora figures out the price per week to feed the staff. Wow, that's less than prison budget. That's unbelievable. It isn't unbelievable, but it is. You know what I mean? Especially knowing how much money they have. So thank you. That's good that you and Sieglin are going to be on that. Janet, great idea, YRB, and thoughtful. My mom has Alzheimer's, and music really helped her. That is a really good idea. You'd have to bring the record player, unless they have one. If they already have one, then that'd be even better. 45 spins slower. Okay. And YRB, good tip. People with dementia often remember their distant memories more than short-term memories. So older records might trigger happy memories. That's a really good point. I saw a movie when my mom was passing away. She had like just the beginning stages of dementia, but I watched a whole movie or documentary on Alzheimer's, and they said, don't try to ask them questions because they can't remember anything. So just talk to them, read to them, bring music and play music, which music is really a good idea. And touch, that touch is a really good thing for them. That's what they said. There's also a light bill at PAC and Flag. Amen, sister. That's for sure. There wasn't really much difference between the sound quality as the technology improved. They could slow it down. That's true. But I'm sure that they would be happy to get anything. That's a great idea. Sieglin, 78 RPM is older tech, thus lower quality, but rarer, so more and more valuable. Wow. Picture books of their lives. Yeah, true. The other thing is to go visit. If you have extra time, go visit senior homes. One time my mother-in-law was in a nursing home, an independent living in Chicago, but they had independent living. The next floor was nursing. The next floor was pre-Alzheimer's, and the fourth floor was Alzheimer's. They were wax. Lolo said the early records were wax. That I didn't know. I think by the time I got them, they were plastic. That's amazing. Anyway, she was in this nursing home, and her kids, even though they lived around her, they really didn't come visit her. So one day I brought in these 4 plants, just little plants. I went to a nursery and I bought these little plants. And I gave one to each of the 4 ladies sitting at our table. And I wrote a letter to all of her kids because I said, honestly, it was like I took your mother to Europe. It's like the entire place where they ate, everyone was looking at their plants. Everyone. And I just said, look, I know you guys have raised children all of your lives. So this is a little something you can take care of. And I just thought it would be helpful to them. And then I wrote the letter to the kids and I said, you guys are near enough. You can just come by for 20 minutes, but please go by and visit her. And hopefully they did. Wax probably scratch is worth. Yeah, wax seems like it would be really tricky. 78 RPM originals were played on, oh yeah, Victrola record players. Yeah, I think my parents had one of those. And the other thing we used to listen to, which some of you might be old enough to have remembered, is stories on radio, like The Shadow and stuff like that. We'd listen to that. This was before TV. And you'd listen to the radio. And they were great. I loved it. I took my golden retriever to a nursing home. And he loved tennis balls so much. He'd follow people using their walkers that had tennis balls on them. That is so funny, Lolo. I love that story. That is really cute. That is so cute. I have my dad's 78s that would break. He loved Halle Jackson's voice. Nice. Yeah, they're very popular here. I mean, the older, 78s and stuff like that. And people that have sold them all are like, I sold them, 20 years ago and now I regret it. So I think it's a good idea to keep them. I definitely think it is. And I love the idea of bringing them over to, just any kind of nursing home. Would be great because music it really is something that gets right to your heart. So there you go. All right. Well, anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Herpes simplex, herpes zoster. I don't know what that is. Roan Breetram. Hello. Not sure what you have to kind of say things in a sentence here because otherwise we don't know what you're talking about. No one. The food I liked was the big bricks of cream cheese. Yeah. Would make cream cheese sandwiches with toast. They had the industrial toaster. Ooh, you'd have to put the bread in and watch it go through the machine. Interesting. I think Rowan sent spam. I think you're right. I don't know what the point of it was, but sometimes because they change things now so much, I think maybe he had a point, and so that's why I asked. Lolo, I'm 78. That's the same age as me. We're the same age. And as a child, we'd go into the living room and listen to music, and we'd each get to select a record. Yeah, we kind of did the same thing. No one. At Int, I ate the fruit for breakfast. That was nice. And we also got salad. Wow, that's good. Very good. You two have a great weekend. Thank you, no one. Maybe to get it spoken on stream. Oh, interesting. Whatever. Question. I remember you said you were part of a group that got the road changed to L. Ron Hubbard Way. Do you now regret it? No, I don't. I feel exactly the same way as I did then as far as that road. Because if you think about it, it's a single block. And you see how Scientology has expanded and expanded. And I know their drill. They'd have it going from one end of LA to the end. And I thought, now, wait a minute, this is all contained. And this is what I said to the judge. It's a whole Scientology block. That's it. There's nothing else on the block. I mean, I think there's a couple of apartments, but that's it. And I thought, keep them contained. That way it's their block. That's it. No more. It won't go any farther. And the judge went, good idea. So, and this was when I was in, but I thought it was cool that their block, because it is kind of their block, and they really don't. I mean, now they have bought other buildings, other places, but it kind of kept it contained. And so, no, I don't regret it at all. I mean, it's like, it is Scientology. That's what it is. It's L. Ron Hubbard way. It's like, I don't see quite what there is to regret about it. Okay, question. Okay, that was the thing. Very cool, Lolo. Ooh. Yeah, that is cool, Lolo. We were right at the same age. I mean, we still are. No details needed, but what sticks with you most from your time in Scientology, good or bad? Well, number one, bad is they making me get off my medicine for epilepsy and having seizure after seizure and, fighting them for 30 years about that condition. It was just sort of like, that was the worst. And the best was realizing, wait a minute, I don't really have a lot of, my first 20 years in Scientology, I really had a good time. I did. I liked training as an auditor. I really did, because I really believed it. Did it work? No. But for just having the hope of it was something that I liked. And then I went in the Sea Org, and I've told you that, and they routed me out. And that was another whole fight, because they tried to get all this money. They tried to make me into a freeloader. I said, I'm not. And then I wrote Hubbard, and Hubbard said, no, you're not. You just have to pay for staff status 1 and 2 and continue on up the line, handle epilepsy, and we'll see you up the line. Well, that didn't work. So, but I liked being an auditor. I really did, for a long time. I loved getting married. I met my husband. We had such a wonderful time together. And then I gave birth to my son a couple of years later, our son. And I loved, it's a favorite job in my life was and is being a mom. It's just, I love being pregnant. I love giving birth to my son. It was just wonderful for me, the whole thing. And it has been, it still is. It's just, I really love him. And it's a wonderful experience. Everybody do something exciting this weekend. That's right. Good thinking. Do you think you could get the road changed to L. Ron Hubbard? Do you think you could get the road changed to L. Ron Hubbard? Doesn't it say L. Ron Hubbard way? Why? Are you asking me that? Like, why would I don't know what your question is, Sieglin. Ask it again. And say, Tori, do you think, or if you're asking someone else, and clarify it. And don't leave without it, because now I'm curious. Era. Iran, why? Elron, why? Yeah, I don't get why. My favorite was, it's in the black, hilarious. It's in the book, hilarious, and was the first comedy record to sell over 1 million. Not bad for the 1940s. Wow, worth a lesson. Oh, that is worth a lesson. YRB, at the time of the name change, all the apartment buildings across the street were not owned by Scientology. They were apartments that had rent control. Scientology made life so bad that people moved. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. As far as I knew, most of them were um, there were only like 2 big apartment buildings that I knew of, and they weren't that big. And the rest of them was Scientology. All on one side is certainly Scientology. AOLA is at the end. There was another lady at the other end who hated them, and she used to come out and protest with us all the time. I think they paid her off. That's what I think happened. But anyway, okay, well, Scientology made it bad and they moved. There you go. Yeah, it's not as ridiculous like Clearwater. Exactly. Clearwater is pathetic. And I was there trying to handle that too. The owners of the buildings eventually sold out to Scientology, all but one. Okay. Great answer. You didn't deny the good that you felt at the time, but recognize the bad that came from it. Love your honesty. Thank you, No Face. Yeah, it was good and bad. You know what I mean? If I had never gotten Scientology, I would have never met my husband. I would have never had a wonderful marriage. I would have never had my son. So to me, that's number one on my list of like, it was a good thing. Do you see what I mean? Even though it turned into a bad thing, but it was the last 10 years that were bad, and those were really bad. But the good news is it helped me wake up. I would have never woken up if I hadn't experienced those bad last 10 years. So anyway, the whole thing for me was a good thing. YRB, Scientology has never owned the street. It is a public street. They do hold the R permit to allow them to change it to brick, undo the maintenance. To brick, undo the maintenance. Oh, okay. All right. Arrow 23. The road being called L. Ron Hubbard Y. It's not Y, it's way. Oh, would be funny. I gotcha. L. Ron Hubbard Y. I don't think anybody gives a shit. I ask people all the time, you know what I'm talking about? The blue building down by Vermont? And they go, no. Most people in LA don't go down there. You know what I mean? So it's its own little area there's other areas beyond it, like Koreatown and stuff like that. But that little area right there is very like just kind of dead. I mean, Hillhurst, if you go up Hillhurst, that's jumping. That's definitely jumping. But that's across from Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard and over. Cece loved her first few decades, but she had jobs she liked and could question if something went against policy. She knew them backwards and forwards. Oh, okay. Yeah, I love my first few decades too. That's how I feel. I mean, and I had jobs that I liked, and I don't know, it was just a good, it was good. I still can't believe that your husband could let someone as special as you get away. Oh, thank you. I know, I feel the same. I really do. I mean, I'm amazed that he stayed in there, because remember, Scientology is a triangle, and he was at the top. He was OT8, and most OT8s are really screwed up. Not all of them, like Dave, who comes in once in a while. He did OT8, and he had wins on it, per Dave. But most OT8s, a lot of them did not. No one good, Sea Org. There was a strong sense of community in a way, and the Sea Org made me tough in as much as it effed me up. Right. Also had an amazing vocabulary from looking up words. Exactly. That's very true. Hi, JV808. Thanks for coming in. We're just at the kind of end of this, but thank you for coming. Ho. L. Ron Hubbard Y instead of L. Ron Hubbard way. Well, you can go in and get it changed, YRB. It isn't going to be me. No. I don't even want to have anything to do with it. Oh, hi. Okay. Hi, Era. JB808, aloha. How are you? I saw a beautiful thing on Hawaii on Facebook and I tried to send it to you, but I realized I don't have anywhere to send it to you. So if you could send me, and I think you might have, but could you do it again? Please. Pretty please. Something where I could send stuff to you. Just one letter changes it from way to Y. That's kind of funny. Yeah. Run Blubber. Okay. Seaglin. Sorry, Tori, the actual sign at L. Ron Hubbard Way appeared as L. Ron Hubbard WY last time I saw it. That's when I got the idea of L. Ron Hubbard Y. You don't have to be sorry for me, Sieglin. I have no, dog in that fight. It's done. I did it. That's what happened. But I think it's funny too. Probably someone took the A off. That's what I think. All the bricks on that street were laid by children. I know. That was awful. No question about it. And I wasn't part of that. But it is awful. We don't need no education. I only know the area because of Kaiser. Yeah. All the parking lot a lot of times by LA Org is filled with cars. And it looks like, wow, they're really jumping. But one of my friends, his partner worked at Kaiser. And he said, no, they give us the parking lot to park our cars at Kaiser. So it looks like it's filled. It looks like it's busy. I'll catch the replay. Sorry for being tardy. Don't be sorry, JB808. Never. You're a busy guy. Children did help lay the bricks, not all of them, on the other hand. Sometimes fleeing Scientologists run into Kaiser. Really? Wow, did they help them? I never heard that before. Erica, hi Tori, I'm in town and I really want to meet you in person. Is there a way? I actually met you several years ago, but I was too shy to talk. I was like 18. I think so. This is my phone number. Let me show you. This is like a cell phone number that you can, where'd it go? There it is. Do you see it? And you can send me a text and we'll work something out. Ooh. There we go. Okay. I know. I miss when he's not there too. I do. He's JB808. We love you. We do. That's the right attitude. What was the attitude? Shit. Now I can't find it. I almost had it. No one. Thank you, no one. Well, anyway, you guys have a good weekend. Do something fun. If you don't have anywhere to go for a little drive. That's always good. Here in LA, it's going to be cool. So if you have things you have to do outside, get them done this weekend, because next weekend it's going to be 100 degrees. Okay. Had a surgery at the Kaiser. It was so weird being right there. Yeah. Yeah. Good night. Good night, no one. Thank you for coming by. Than you, Erica. Good night, beautiful. Good night. That's very interesting. They run into Kaiser. I hope they do get help. Yeah, I've never heard that before. JB808. Aw, thanks, love it. I hate when I miss the live. I still owe you pictures, but I'll text Tori the Google Drive link. Ooh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, that would be really cool. Good morning from Oslo. Oh, my home. And Mr. Anonymous. He's from Norway. He's from Oslo, actually. I think Andreas got him in Oslo. See his Norwegian thing? I don't know if you can see it. There's his Norwegian flag, and it says Norway. Norway. There you go. That's Mr. Anonymous that Andreas Heldeland gave me from Norway. So anyway, thank you, and enjoy Norway. It is such a beautiful place. You're so lucky to be there. Going to a community group every Saturday evening. Wow, nice, Era. That's interesting. Hi there in Oslo. Yeah, hello, Oslo. Good night, good morning, Magoo, and chat. No face. Hello. Bless your heart, Tori. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Sieglin. That's nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for all coming by. 49ers for life. Hey, unfortunately, we're just about ready to end off. I read somewhere that LA is experiencing the coolest summer days. Yeah, or something like that. Hope it's a pleasant relief. It has been. And it's one of those where we're all like, we're kind of afraid to say, oh, it's so cool, because it always ends up hitting us on the back end one way or the other. So we figure probably September will be really super hot, and even into October. Or maybe we got a whole new thing going here. Who knows? Good evening, Finny Stupper. Hi. We're just about ending off, so I'm sorry you're late. Hi, Mr. Anonymous. I'm a little bit Norwegian too. Aw, lucky. Anonymous, that's right. Hey, 49ers. All right, you guys. Well, we've been on for an hour, so I think I'm going to end off because I've got to get up early again. But thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate it. And I really like all you guys, and thank you for your questions and your comments. All right, so have a wonderful weekend, and then I will see you maybe Sunday or Monday, one of the two. I'm not sure, because I might have to do something on Sunday, but I might be out. So we'll see, Sunday or Monday. All right, peace out. I love you guys. Thanks, Tori, and love it. Good night, all. Good night, JB808. Miss you. Thank you.